She refuses to look defeated. She dresses like a queen preparing for court. Over her body goes black, the color her enemies expect. But underneath it is deep red, the color of blood, sacrifice, and Catholic martyrdom. They can take her life, but they will not control the picture. A baby girl is born into danger. Her father, King James V, dies only days later, and before Mary can speak, she becomes Queen of Scotland. Scotland is unstable. England is watching. France wants influence. Religion is beginning to tear kingdoms apart. Mary's life begins not as childhood, but as inheritance. For safety and politics, she is sent to France. There, danger is replaced by silk, music, language, and ceremony. Mary learns that royalty is performance posture, clothing, silence, timing, the art of being seen. Then she marries Francis, heir to the French throne. For a brief, shining moment, Mary is Queen of Scots and Queen Consort of France. She is young, Catholic, royal, and connected by blood to the English throne. But power built on marriage can vanish quickly. Francis dies. Mary is widowed. And in 1561, she returns to Scotland, not as a girl coming home, but as a queen entering a country that has changed without her. Scotland is colder than France, and not only in weather. Protestant reform has transformed the kingdom. Nobles distrust her Catholic faith, her French manners, and her female authority. Her beauty is politicized, turned into both fascination and accusation. Mary must rule men who do not believe a woman should rule them unless they can control her. Her second marriage is meant to secure her throne. Instead, it opens the door to disaster. Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley, is handsome, royal, and useful, but jealousy turns poisonous. Darnley wants power. Mary refuses to fully give him. He becomes angry, unstable, and easy for other men to manipulate. Then one night, in 1566, violence enters Mary's private chamber. She is pregnant. Her secretary, David Rizzio, is dragged from her side and stabbed again and again in front of her. His blood spills almost at her feet. The message is brutal. Mary may wear the crown, but men around her believe they can invade even the most private room of her life. Yet she survives. Months later, she gives birth to a son, James. He is more than a child. He is the future. One day, he will unite the crowns of Scotland and England. But motherhood does not save her. In 1567, Darnley is found dead after an explosion at Kirko Field. His body lies outside, untouched by the blast. Scotland erupts with rumour. Suspicion falls on Mary and on James Hepburn, Earl of Bothwell. The truth becomes less powerful than the story. When Mary marries Bothwell soon after, public trust collapses. It looks fatal. A murdered husband, a controversial nobleman, a queen accused of scandal and betrayal. Her nobles rise against her. She is captured and imprisoned at Loch Leven Castle. She is forced to abdicate in favour of her infant son. The crown remains in her bloodline, but it is taken from her hands. Mary escapes. For a moment, hope returns, but at Langside, in 1568, her forces are defeated. So she runs to England. She believes Queen Elizabeth I might help her. Elizabeth is her cousin, her fellow queen, the only woman in Europe who understands what it means to wear a crown in a world ruled by men. But Elizabeth sees something else. A rival, a Catholic claimant, a living alternative. Mary is too royal to ignore, too dangerous to free, and too useful to release. So England does not rescue her. England keeps her. For nearly 19 years, Mary lives as a prisoner, not in chains, but behind doors. She writes letters, she prays, she embroiders. She keeps the manners of a queen, even when denied the freedom of one. Her needlework becomes quiet resistance. Her letters become lifelines. Every message carries hope, but also danger, because in Elizabeth's England, even ink can become evidence. Then comes the Babington plot. A conspiracy forms around the plan to assassinate Elizabeth and place Mary on the English throne. Letters are intercepted, codes are broken, evidence is gathered. Whether Mary steps into the trap through ambition, desperation, or misplaced trust, the result is the same. Now, Elizabeth's government has what it needs. Mary is tried. She refuses to behave like an ordinary prisoner. She insists she is an anointed queen, not an English subject. Her defense becomes another performance of legitimacy, and so we return to Fotheringhay. Mary walks into the hall with control. She carries her rosary and crucifix. Around her stand men who have spent years turning her into a warning. But she walks as if entering a chapel. Then the black outer garments are removed. The red appears. In that moment, Mary changes the meaning of the scene. The English state wants to show a traitor. Mary presents a martyr. They want humiliation. She offers ceremony. They want silence. She leaves behind an image the state cannot fully control. And then, from beneath her skirts, a small dog is said to have appeared hidden, loyal, and heartbreaking. Mary dies that morning, but her story does not. Elizabeth survives, but she cannot erase the shadow of signing another queen's death warrant. Mary loses Scotland, freedom, reputation, and life. Yet her son James later becomes king of both Scotland and England, uniting the crowns Mary never controlled. She loses her throne in life, but her bloodline reshapes Britain after death. Her story leaves 3 leadership lessons. First, image is power, but only if you define it before your enemies do. Second, personal choices become political weapons when leadership is fragile. And her final lesson, legitimacy requires more than inheritance. It depends on alliances strong enough to survive crisis. In the end, Mary, Queen of Scots, remains impossible to reduce. Victim, strategist, mother, prisoner, rival, martyr, warning. Maybe that is why she still holds our attention. Because her life asks a question power still asks today. When the world is determined to define you, how much of your own story can you still control? If this story moved you, there are more like it on this channel. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.